we are joined with Mr. Peach here, right now. What's good, man?
We are, and thank you so much, man. I am so sorry I'm running late, man. I was trying to get back to the house, and my phone battery was dead, so I had to get back and charge it. I was like, oh my goodness, one of those afternoons, you know how it is.
So I appreciate you, man, being back on the show. This is your second appearance, and great to have you on. And considering you have the word chill in your stage name, I would like to declare you a relative on this show. 'Cause this
Oh,
show,
thank you. I'll accept that.
yeah, this show, we take pride of being a chill environment, laid back environment, just having good conversations with artists about their music and how they feeling in life. And you a chill cat, and you
Oh, well,
are
thank you, man.
well respected as an MC, in your neck of the woods and in areas of this country. You are a talented artist. You truly rap for the culture, and you are. I admire the boom bap sounds in your music. So life in fragile environments is the name of your latest album, and it's
Yeah,
available.
living in fragile environments. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so and it's available on all digital music platforms. Go stream it, go purchase it, go buy it. And if you're a Bandcamp person like myself, you can buy the album through there as well. And unlike these other platforms, artists actually get money in return if you buy the music through Bandcamp. They've been doing this whole
Mhm.
Bandcamp Friday thing since last year. Like from what I've heard, they took a break from it, and they're going to be bringing it back in August.
Oh, it's coming
So
back in August. Okay,
yeah,
I wasn't aware of that, so I'm glad to hear that. That was really cool that they did that to help artists out during our time of need. That was a huge step for them, and I appreciate Bandcamp for that a lot. So
yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the album in particular, living in fragile environments. Um,
hmm
what was it like recording this album, and what made you decide to name this Life?
well, I'd started the album prior to the pandemic hitting. I'd already decided I wanted to call the album Life, and I wanted Life to be an acronym, and it was going to be an acronym for love in full effect. And as time went on and things got crazier in the world, as we all saw in the last year, I felt like that really wasn't the proper title the acronym should stand for. And I felt like we're all in a very fragile environment right now. We're all surviving through it. So living in a fragile environment, living in a fragile environment rather seems like a better title for it. Originally, I wanted to do a bunch of really kind of songs that were personal journeys and things like that, and just the way the world and how even artists, the world influences the art a lot. They say life imitates art. Well, art also imitates life, and so a lot of the stuff I wrote, especially the stuff I wrote post pandemic, right since it started taking a different curve. And like I said, it wasn't love in full effect anymore. There's love is there, but it was something bigger than that.
That is true. We definitely have been living through unfortunate circumstances last year,
Sure.
with the pandemic, COVID-19, and while it
Mm-hmm.
is still there, most states have either already have or on the brink of lifting all restrictions. Here in my neck of the woods, here in Kentucky, we just about lifted everything. The mask mandate gets lifted by tomorrow, and the remaining
Wow.
capacity restrictions will be lifted as well.
Okay.
Kentucky, we got about 2 million Kentuckians got their first dose. Obviously, I'm already fully vaccinated, and one of the quote unquote post vaccine pictures I posted was a picture, a selfie, I should say, not a pic, but a selfie. But people call it what they
Hmm.
want to these days. But it's a selfie of myself with the card and a Mr. P. Chill face mask, which I purchased
Hey, I
from you.
saw that. I saw you had your pizza face mask. I was like, hell yeah, my man's got it going on.
So, so you got some songs here. Digging, Crate Digger's Anthem. You released that as a single. Million of Militants. You released that as a single as well. And while I still learn more from the artists that I've interviewed throughout the years, uh, let's just talk about the boom bap sound, something that you take pride of. Well, how do you best describe the feel, man, when you get to rap on these boom bap beats and just going in on these beats, man? How do you feel about the boom bap style? Was there any artists or artists that influenced you, inspire you? Like, what intrigues you the most as far as the boom bap sound of hip hop?
With when it gets into the realm of just that raw boom bap sound, I've always been a fan. It just takes me back to the beginning, when everything was so drum heavy and it was just real crisp drums. You know what I'm saying? And when I get on a roll rhyming over a boom bap style beat, it's hard to explain the feeling that I get from that. It gives you like almost a sensation, like you're riding the beat. Like I would imagine someone riding a horse would feel if they're riding a horse or something.
Yeah.
Um, Artists that have influenced me on that. There's a vast variety of artists, from of course the king of boom bap sound, KRS-One, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Chuck D's always influenced me, even though his production he rhymes over has always been more of like a wall of sound, so to speak, that the Bomb Squad put together for him. But his messages were so heavy. I wanted to be able to bring something kind of cross between, the delivery type of KRS and the heavy lyricism of Chuck.
Yeah. Chuck D, well respected. The teacher, KRS-One. And while he was teaching, he won't hesitate to tell you how he feel about rappers
Hmm.
and such. And he doesn't hold back on
No, he doesn't, and as he shouldn't,
no.
because too many people these days have yes men and yes women. They're just like tell
Yeah.
them what they want to hear, but it's never what they need to hear. It seems like.
And with today's hip hop industry, it has changed a lot. It's like, remember the days when you gotta put the demo and put it out there and hope somebody would hear it. And now with
Hmm.
technology and everything, like you can have a YouTube hit or a Snapchat or a TikTok, and boom, there's you get a record deal just like that. And
Right, right.
some people, I like, and then there's some people, but
Right.
that's where we are these days, and people keep fighting for substance in hip hop, and there are some artists of today's artists, I would say, that has that substance, that are doing things. But then again, people got their different tastes of music. I joke around with my friends. Some people are into some sort of hip hop that I'm different of. Like I grew up listening to the New York hip hop, just
Mhm.
raw, uncut music. And, you know, my parents probably wouldn't like the music that they want a young son to hear, but I was I was into it at the time. I was into it. Young Nas,
Mhm.
Mob Deep, Capone Noriega, just
Oh yeah.
Mob Deep, Big Pun, the list goes on and on. And then, of course, I started listening to Pac and Snoop and Dre and Bone Thugs, and eventually started to be fans of more other artists and such. So obviously, how do you feel about California and its handling of the pandemic? What kind of restrictions you still dealing with? What's going on in California, in your neck of the woods right now? How are you feeling about restrictions either already lifted or on the verge of being lifted? How are you feeling about California right now as we're still dealing with this pandemic?
Well, here in California, we still have a lot of the restrictions. We still have a mask mandate that's going to be in place. I believe they're lifting it on the 15th. That's like less than a week. And they're still going to be required in some places like hospitals, doctors' offices, and certain places like that. I believe that some government buildings are still going to require everyone working there to wear a mask. They say if you're vaccinated in other places, you won't need to wear a mask, but if you are not vaccinated, you'll still need to continue to wear a mask. Well, that's kind of putting a lot of it on the honor system, and I don't know how many people are really,
Yeah,
because there's been a lot of stuff happening out here with people not not thinking this is a real pandemic, and they don't want to wear their mask. They don't want to get the vaccine. They swear the vaccine is gonna give them magnetic properties or whatever the conspiracy is this week. I saw that today. I saw someone testifying in Ohio about that, and I
oh
couldn't believe what
boy,
I was talking about. Like, what is this? Is this are people really going here? But so I feel like people, if they're going to believe that stuff, they're just going to say whatever to not wear masks. I don't. I think it's putting a little too much on the honor system for that. But I've been fully vaccinated for well over a month now, a couple of months actually. I think after going through the mask. But and I feel like it's protecting me from it. My wife's been she has hers. Everyone in our family has theirs. So I feel like okay, well I'm protected. The people around are also protected. So it's kind of come to the point now where it's like, all right, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm gonna follow the directions, of course, of the science. I'm gonna follow the science with it. But I'm not going to sit here and try to and be like, hey, you need to be wearing your mask. You're not vaccinated. It's not my place to
yeah,
go there. As much as I get angry and be like, man, you should really wear your mask. It's not somebody that as much as I would like to just bring up a bunch of stuff that wouldn't be necessary. And I feel like I read an article online the other day. The U.S. as a whole is like 64% vaccinated. So I said that when we get to 75%, that we're pretty much have herd immunity. So I feel like we're getting really close to that. I hope we can continue and get to that goal faster than longer. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Because I'm ready for things to open back up. I haven't been on a stage in front of people in about 17 months. The last show I did was February of 2020. I was
Mm,
just getting my tour season kicked off, and actually I was supposed to be the week that the whole world shut down. 2 days after everything shut down. I was supposed to be getting on a plane and flying to New York with my wife. I had a show in Harlem with Peso from the Fearless Four. Um, Friend was with Theodore, Busy B, Little Rodney C. A bunch of the OGs invited me back to do a show with them in Harlem, and I was supposed to be doing that, and so I was super stoked about it. But in hindsight, I'm kind of glad I wasn't in New York during that time because it was a freaking wreck back there, man. It was awful. What was happening to those people, man. Just it took such a toll, and I hope people can remember that, and I hope some of the good things that people started doing during the pandemic, like being better about washing their hands and
yeah.
sanitizing and maybe if you're not feeling well, yeah, maybe you should stay home and not spread it around. I hope some of those things stick because I think overall those are just good habits we should have been doing all along to begin with.
Yeah, it definitely should not take a once in a 100-year pandemic for people to just wash your hands. Like, that's
Dude,
something you should have
seriously.
learned as a kid. Like, that's something you should just be mindful of and, wash your hands. Like,
Like when I'm on the road, I can't tell you how many times like I'll be driving between cities and I'll pull off at like a truck stop or a gas station or whatever it is.
yeah,
I couldn't even count how many times I've seen some dude step out of the stall, walk right past a perfectly good sink, and then just go about their business. I'm like, oh hell no, 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 no. That's just nasty. That's just plain nasty.
quite the environment, no pun intended. So
Right.
check out Mr. P. Chill's latest album, Life. It's available on all digital music platforms. Go streaming at your favorite platform And if you really want to be a helping hand, as a lot of artists are slowly but surely getting back to the performing aspect of what they do and love, go to Bandcamp and go buy. They got shirts, hats, face masks. Um, even with being fully vaccinated, you can look at it as a collector's item. And look back and when it's all said and done, like, man, I got Mr. Peach's face mask. And so when I was getting my second shot, I said, man, I had to get the face mask and put a selfie on it and let you know that
And I
I
appreciate
wore
that
that.
so much,
So
my brother. I really
so
do.
go check out this album and go support this man. Go support your local artists, independent artists, local businesses. They still doing all they can. And thank you, man, for being back on the show. And appreciate you
Thanks for
as
having me back
always.
on the show. This was
Yeah,
fun, man. It's always fun to be on your show, man.
yeah, man. And I appreciate the support and just keep doing you, man. I see what you post. I see what you're doing, and as a man of color, I appreciate you, man, for standing up for us, given everything that we had to endure with the social unrest, a polarizing election results, and slowly but surely getting back to normal in this country, and more importantly, the whole world altogether. So. Thank you for
Yep.
that, man. So, you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe, and hopefully, California will be getting back on track, and things get back to normalcy out there in the West Coast, man. So, thank
Yep.
you, man.
And
You take
hopefully,
care.
thank you. And hopefully, I'll be back on the road before long. Maybe I can get through your neck of the woods. It'd be fun to see you out there face to face, my brother.
Yeah, man. I'm all for that, man. Looking forward to it, man. So, you have a good night, man. Be safe.
Hey, you do the same, my friend. I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, bye bye.
Peace.
I was